Okay. Are we ready? So today we're going to be breaking down chapters 7, 8, and 9. Chapter 7 gets into Erika's grandmother. Also interesting as it relates to Sutton this season. Chapter 8 talks more about Tom Girardi, their marriage, their relationship, how they met. And then chapter 9 talks about, she makes some interesting, more about their marriage, but she makes some interesting revelations for his like law firm and her involvement in it. So I actually think tonight's live is going to be it's going to be juicy. But before we dive into book club, yes, as some of you have mentioned in the comments, I miss your purple hair. Purple hair doesn't last very long. And with your hair is blonde, it washes out so fast. But Vanderpump Rules is back tonight, Tuesday. And yes, I do make a teeny little cameo in the premiere of Vanderpump Rules. So if you haven't watched, at least watch it for me. At least watch it to support me. Catch it on your Instagram story and like tag me so I can repost it and be like, Mom, look at, I'm on Vanderpump Rules. But yes, I did know that was coming. I had to sign a release for it. Cheers, everybody. I got my no filter rosé. I'm drinking. I'm ready to mention it all tonight because tonight I am ready to mention it all. And we're going to mention it all about Erika Jayne and her book, The Pretty Mess. Juicy chapters tonight, which we'll break down. If anybody wants to support the wine, you can support it at nofilterwine.com. Get your orders in. Yes, the badges are on. Wow, thank you so much, Nicole Adrian, for the 3 badges. Badges are on, you guys. So if you send badges, I will give you shout outs. We'll break down each of the 3 chapters. Then we'll do quiz time with a giveaway at the end. Let's go. Let's get ready. Let's dive into it. Chapter 7 is called The Little General. Okay. This is the chapter about Erika moving to California. She talks about her grandmother. Her grandmother's name was Anne. She used to call her Gran B because she couldn't pronounce grandma. So she's like, yo, Granby, that's your name now. Gangsta. And then Gangsta Granby is like, yes, Erika, you're going to move to California. I'm going to move to California with you. Okay. Oh my God. Everybody's texting me about Vanderpump Rules. I know, guys, I know I'm on Vanderpump Rules tonight. I had to sign the release interview for the Lala interview. Interesting that it looks like, I haven't seen the episode yet, but it's interesting. It looks like they ended up using the audio and not the video. I haven't seen it yet, but I did sign the release and they wanted the video. So I guess they're only using the audio. We'll see. But they also had me sign a release for the Ariana interview and the Sheena interview. Okay, sorry. I digress. Okay, so chapter 7, The Little General, is about Erika moving to California, Granby, and her grandmother, who she's really close with. It talks about her helping Erika make the move. They did a whole road trip across the country. She gets more into why they called the grandma the Little General. Mind you, there will be little nuggets that I will be emphasizing throughout my breakdown. You may want to take notes so that you're ready for quiz time at the end of this live. Talks about how her grandmother was a big perfectionist. She was very mean to her mom, very mean to her aunt, like very tough on them. As a perfectionist, she like made sure they had to take like 2 baths a day, like very, very intense mother. But Erika says that she was always very soft to her, probably because she wasn't her daughter. And Erika says that she was never afraid of her grandmother, even though her grandmother was really intense and intimidated a lot of people and wasn't very nice to her mother. Erika was just not going to back down from her. She says that she thinks that Anne, her grandmother, saw a lot of herself in Erika since Erika was such an independent child. Hi, Jess. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. Hi, Zack. Oh, hey, Sailor Easton. Sailor Easton is pushing it. Zack Pack in the house tonight. Erika talks about how she was just very brazen, very bold from a very young age. She started cursing when she was 5, and Granby would beat her up, and she'd be like, no way, Jose, you cannot be cussing. You are a lady. And she's like, well, I'm a lady with a mouth. Snap, snap, pat the puss. She talks about how there was this incident with this little boy fishing statue that was outside, and it was by the grandmother's pond, and how 2 of her cousins ended up knocking the statue over into the pond, and the statue broke. And Granby was like heartbroken because Granby would like knit together some little beanies and warm clothes. That way the little statue wouldn't get cold, because it gets cold outside, you guys. And statues get even colder because they don't have like red blood. They have cement in their veins. And so we need to keep the statue warm. So Granby would make the statue little hats and stuff. And then since the cousins dropped the statue into the pond and they broke it, and they're like, oh my God, Granby's going to beat us the way she likes to beat Erika because Erika doesn't listen. And they're like, well, Erika can take a beating, so let's just rat on her. So then they blamed it on Erika, and Erika was like, I was ferocious about not doing it. It was not me. And then Granby was like, no, it was you. They said it was you. You just need to own it, baby. Own it, babe. Own it, Lisa. Just own it. And Erika's like, I'm not going to own it because one thing I'm not is a liar. And it reminded me of that or what sort of moment that we got from Erika and Sutton, because now we see Sutton's calling. Well, actually, we saw it originally when Teddy made the pretend amnesia comment and Erika flipped out on her. She's like, I am not a liar. Don't you ever do that to me again. Don't you ever do that to me again. And Teddy's like, oh my God, I just want to hold you accountable and tell you to only eat 500 calories a day because I'm trying to keep your figure, girl. And she's like, or what? Well, she says that her and her grandmother, because the grandmother basically called her a liar, Erika blew up on the grandma. They had this big fight. Renee came in and Renee's like, hold up, wait a minute. Everybody needs to calm down. And then Erika's like, fuck you too. I'm 5 years old. And I just said, fuck you too. I don't know if she's really 5 years old, but that's what, that was her narrative. And Erika said that she was so hurt because she was over there telling Granby that she is not a liar. And here Granby was believing somebody else over her, and she took that like as a personal attack. And eventually one of the cousins ended up owning up to it years later, and then Granby apologized to Erika, but Erika's like, I'm not gonna let you off the hook, homie. You called me a liar or what? And she told Granby, you want to get sued? You ever call me a liar again? I'm coming for you. And then Granby was like, okay, fine, chill. She said that she never let her off the hook, but it was interesting how Granby never crucified Erika the way that her mother would get crucified, the way Renee would get crucified. She also says that her grandmother started to lose her memory. This is really hard. And this chapter hit hard for me because, as I've shared with you guys, my grandmother was like her Granby, like my parent of, it was like both parents wrapped into one. We were very, very, very close. Lived with her until I was 25. And she started to show early signs of Alzheimer's. And she was starting to kind of share some of those early signs before she passed away a few months ago, which was scary. And then we realized like she was hiding a lot of these signs from us. So reading Erika's experience with her grandmother and kind of reading what we were going through a few months ago, this was a hard chapter to get through. But she says that Granby started having sloppy handwriting. She started having little money slip ups, that one day they were driving home and she's like, oh my God, Erika, I'm scared. I don't remember how to get home. And Erika had to get in the car and drive. And she's like, well, Granby, where are we going? And then Granby's like, I don't know where we're going. And Erika's like, okay, well, we don't have Surrey and we don't have GPS yet. So you're going to need to like get it together and we need to figure out how to do this. And eventually they did make it home. And then after that, she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and she suffered with Alzheimer's for 10 years before she finally passed away. Shortly after getting diagnosed with Alzheimer's, grandfather Hollis, who was Anne's husband, he was diagnosed with stage 4 stomach cancer, and he was trying to hide it because he was like, the attention needs to be on Granby because she has Alzheimer's. And eventually he ended up passing away. And by that point, Granby was so far advanced in her Alzheimer's that they wouldn't even tell her that the grandfather passed away. She was already living in an assisted living home at that point. So when we see Erika talking about, being afraid of Tom starting to lose his memory, and now Tom being put into an old folks home, as we saw in last week's episode, like you can tell, like there's some real genuine emotion and feelings behind that. And, it does kind of, you do on a human level. I get it. A lot of you guys, 90% of you guys hate Erika, but like just on a human level, like, I don't know, I guess I'm a terrible person for having empathy and feeling bad. That doesn't mean that I don't feel bad for the victims. That doesn't mean that I don't feel bad for all the clients that Tom owed money to. They're likely not going to get their money back. I have empathy for the situation overall, and it's a really sad and fucked up situation for everyone involved. Granby was put into a home, and it was just reading it was so painful to read, especially considering how close I was to my grandmother. Like it's hard. And then she said that eventually her grandmother stopped eating, drinking, and swallowing altogether, which is when Erika decided to go and like visit her because they knew like this was the end. Erika had been visiting her, but she went to visit her for the last time and she just like slowly died. And you have to like watch this person that you love slowly start to slip away and reading it. And it's just, it sucks. It's an unfortunate disease and it sucks for anybody involved that has a loved one that has Alzheimer's. But, you know, she says that she's sad that that her grandmother never got to watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She never got to see the book come to fruition. She never got to see her life progress or Erika's son get older and, you know, pursue his career ambitions. But that Granby was the closest person she had to her in her life, which I thought was a really sweet chapter. But it is interesting how we have the Alzheimer's piece of it, and then we have the liar piece of it, which we see her snapping at Teddy and Sutton, and now we get why it's such a hot button for her, or I guess always has been a hot button because she does not consider herself to be a liar. I know a lot of you feel otherwise. Okay. And I never not called her a liar. I just think, I don't know. Chapter 8 is called Knowledge is a Powerful Aphrodisiac. This is where we get into the chapter about Tom Girardi, or at least meeting Tom. She talks about living in Los Angeles and how New York and LA are very different. New York requires a different mindset, a different philosophy, and how she just liked LA so much better and instinctively knew her way around LA so much better than she did New York. She knew that her life would open up in Los Angeles, and eventually, you know, with acting, she started to get a lot of really small roles. As we know, she played a lot of dead women on Law and Order. You know, those lines were hard for her to memorize in between her waitressing shifts, but she did it. She also worked retail at the Beverly Center. She got a job. And then after Beverly Center, she ended up getting a job as a cocktail waitress at Chasen's. Chasen's is the restaurant she used to work at. And the hiring manager was kind of, you know, he was a little redneck. He was fun. But she says that she remembers that when he was first hiring her for the job, that he told her that a Heineken is a Texas champagne, which I don't know why I thought that was funny, that Texas champagne is a Heineken beer, but I thought it was funny. A Heineken is a Texas champagne, in case anybody was wondering. That's what, like when you use, what is it, Squirt or Mountain Dew with tequila, Mountain Dew and tequila, I think is, what do they call it? A redneck margarita. Just fun. But she says that she liked working as a waitress better than she liked retail. And obviously she must have liked it better than when she was a go-go dancer out in New Jersey. She worked at Chasen's. She talks about how Chasen's was eventually remodeled, and the Chasen's that she worked in was the newer Chasen's. And they were very famous for their Chasen's chili. Why their chili was so special, I don't know. Erika didn't even know, but that's what people would always get. That's what Reagan would order. And so now we know Reagan used to like chili from Chasen's. She met Tom at Chasen's. Apparently they have a private club that Tom used to go in often, and he always had like his office dinners there, and he would always bring guests out to Chasen's. And he saw Erika and he's like, "Hey, you pretty little thing." And she's like, "Ooh, yeah, baby. She talks, and when she's talking about him, it's really interesting because she's like, "Oh, you know, he's such a powerful attorney. Over the years, he won so many billions of dollars of settlements for clients." And it's like, "Ooh, but how many of those billions of dollars did he keep for himself?" Dun, dun, dun. She says that she was attracted by the way he interacted with people, that he acknowledged everyone and he was very kind and very generous, that it didn't matter if you were the janitor or the wait staff or the owner of the restaurant or a friend that he was trying to impress at dinner. He always gave you his full attention, and that everybody liked Tom. And because everybody liked Tom, she was like, "Well, I'm going to jump on this gravy train." And so she slipped him her number one day and she's like, "Call me." And then later that day, his secretary called and she's like, "Hi, Tom Girardi wants to take you out on a date." And Erika's like, "Absolutely not. I will not be going on a date with Tom Girardi. If Tom Girardi wants to take me on a date, he needs to call me personally and give me advance notice because it's expensive to be me and I need to get ready." And then he called back personally and he's like, "Yo, homie, yo, girl, yo, boo, I want to do you." And she's like, "Ooh, baby. And yeah, then they went out on a date. and they fell in love. And she said after that, everything just kind of fell into place, and how all a couple needs is the same philosophy. Age doesn't really make a difference. It's about making sure you guys are on the same page and you want the same things in life. And her and Tom apparently were on the same page in the sense that they really loved money and they really loved to spend it. She said that Tom was a really great mentor and a really great teacher. She says that a man that is well-read and educated is the most powerful aphrodisiac. Like that was her favorite thing. A man that is well-read and educated. Two very important things. So if you're looking for the ideal aphrodisiac, like screw oysters, screw chocolate, it needs to be a man that's well-hung. Sorry. It needs to be a man that is well-read and educated. Well-read and educated. He doesn't need to be hung. I would actually prefer if he's not that hung. I don't like guys that are hung. Big dicks scare me. I mean, I won't speak about my own package, but other people's big dicks scare me. I haven't even had that much rosé. I should shut the fuck up and stick to the lesson plan, Zachary. But she says that she also really learned she didn't tell anybody at Chasen's that she was dating Tom Girardi, and she really kept everything close to the vest. And she just didn't disclose details with people because she was afraid that they might judge her, or she just learned from past bad experiences to not share too many details, to just kind of keep them close to the heart. The interesting thing is she still worked at Chasen's while they were dating, which I guess it's not that interesting because like, obviously you don't know what's going to happen with your life. You don't know if the sugar daddy is going to like take you away and like fly you off on a magic carpet ride, or if he's going to end up leaving you high and dry. Like I know many of the ladies here in Los Angeles, some of them that I'm friends with, and they date these really powerful, rich, older men. And then when he's gone, shit, they have to go back to getting a job, or they just go like Chris Bassett, they go to the EDD office. Unemployment checks. It's expensive to be Chris Bassett. But she talks about how when Tom spoke, he made her feel like she was the only person in the room, like she was the only person in the world, and she really loved that. She said that he always strived for something and he was ambitious, and she liked that he was ambitious because it very much was a juxtaposition to the way that she grew up and the way Renee was, that Renee was very negative and Renee would always operate from a place of lack. But Tom, on the other hand, operated from a place of abundance. So obviously she read The Secret and watched some Oprah interviews. But she said that Tom, his ambition was seductive, the way that he was very sweet. And again, these aren't things I'm saying. These are just things she wrote about him in her book, but that, a lot of his behavior was very seductive to her. Okay, so here's where it gets a little bad for her though. She says that early on, Tom would include her in work conversations while they were out to dinner with his colleagues. And like they would, like if there was a case they were working on, and they would come to her and, ask her what she thought about it, ask for her opinion, ask how she felt. And she said he would explain the situation and the law surrounding the situation and then ask for her opinion. And then she ended up realizing that she was looped into those conversations because they really just wanted a layperson's opinion because it was helpful when presenting it to a jury. So they wanted to know what she was going to think. That way they can know like how to, get into the mind of what the jury might think, because somebody like Erika doesn't have a lot of experience with the law. So they want to know where her head is at when it comes to which way she's going to sway and which argument is going to be the most compelling for them. She says that Tom explains things to her in a way that's uplifting, and he doesn't mansplain things to her, which she also found very attractive. And she says that she's dated people with way more money and way more power. And, Tom was just really sweet and she liked him. Then eventually her lease at her apartment was up and she decided to stay at Tom's house for a little while until she figured things out, i.e. how to bag that bag. She said that she gave up all of her IKEA furniture and moved into his house with her trash bags of clothes ready. And Tom was like, "Where's your furniture?" And she's like, "I don't have anything. I just have these trash bags, Tom Girardi." And he's like, "Okay." And she's like, "You probably have to buy me some stuff." And he was like, "Okay." She says that she lived in the guest bedroom, but every night she would end up sneaking into Tom's bedroom because she wanted to cuddle with him. And he was like a little teddy bear. He was 5'4", so he was like a little teddy bear. He's also shaped like a teddy bear. So that nobody at work knew that they were dating. Eventually she ended up quitting. And when she quit, she was like, "Bye, bitches. I got me a rich man." And she says that like she was just ready to like marry him and live her life with him. But like for me, I was thinking about it too. And I was like, I don't know if I would quit my job. Like I would have to make sure there was a ring on my finger and the man, like, at a joint bank account or something. Like I would need a little more security before I just picked up and left. Can't wait to see Zack on there. On where? See Zack on where? Where am I at, Ansley? Oh, are you guys talking about Vanderpump Rules? Yes, for anybody that's just tuning in, I do make a little cameo on tonight's episode of Vanderpump Rules. So be sure to tune in and take an Instagram story and tag me so I can repost it. NoFilterWines.com. Yum, yum, yum. Delicious rosé, 14% alcohol by volume, less than a gram of sugar. Okay, last chapter that we're breaking down before we get into quiz time. And I'll read some of your thoughts about it too. Chapter 9 is called Giving the Layman's Opinion. So she's like, fine, Tom, you want a layman's opinion? Boom, boom, boom. I'll give it to you, baby. She says, at first, she did not get a welcoming reception to the people in Tom's life. They were not very welcoming to her. She was the third wife. She was 27. And it's like, you know, people were always judging her. They wanted to know, like, what's your motive? But then she's like, she said that she saw a lot of the people that she used to wait on at Chasen's. And she's like, I know, I saw you and I know who your mistress is. And you don't want to be, you know, judging me too hard because I'll tell your wife about your mistress, bitch. But she says that it was the really like the wealthiest women that were the nicest women to her. And she says that they were like the third wives. So they kind of understood her experience and knew where she was coming from. She said that she got a really nice compliment from one of them that said that she'd never changed from the 27-year-old girl that they met back in the day, that she was still true to the person today, at least when the book came out, to who she was back when they first met her. She said that one day she bought herself a simple like Tiffany's heart necklace. And I know that's a little like weird and out of touch to be like, oh, I just bought myself a simple Tiffany's necklace. Cause like anything at Tiffany's is not that simple and you're still going to pay a pretty penny. She said it was a little heart with a chain, a silver chain, and it wasn't that expensive. Again, Tiffany's ain't cheap. Tiffany's is not Walmart. Okay. Tiffany's is going to be, you know, a low price, say. But she says that she bought herself a Tiffany's necklace with a little heart on it. And then Tom got upset with her and he told her, he said, you don't buy jewelry for yourself. That's my privilege. I buy jewelry for you. And she was like, okay, Tom, I'm sorry. And then she also talks about how even though he's going to buy her all the jewelry is not something that he was planning on wearing. And he was not going to wear his wedding band. And he's like, I'm not going to wear a wedding band. So please don't ask me to wear a wedding band. I will marry you. But the one thing I'm not doing is putting a ring on my finger. I don't like it. It's uncomfortable, blah, 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 blah. And obviously, you know, I'm trying to bag Trisha A. Bigelow and Amber Riley. And if I'm going to bag these girls, then I need you to let me not wear a wedding ring because they need to know that I'm single and I'm a player and I'm in demand. And she's like, okay. It's a philanderer to be you. And Erika's like, I don't care. It's not going to stop. A ring doesn't stop anyone from doing anything. If a man has a ring on his finger, it doesn't mean he's not going to cheat on you. He can easily take the ring off. Some women find it attractive to have a man with a ring. I mean, I will tell you this. I get a lot of straight married men that slide into my DMs and are trying to get at me. Or a lot of the times they don't even tell me they have wives. So, I mean, I guess to an extent, she kind of has a point there, but like, you know, men love a lot of men like to dip into my DMs. She says that they never thought about getting a prenup. It was never even a question. And it really wasn't a question because the prenup won't do shit. Any good lawyer will tell you that there's always a way around a prenup. She said they didn't have a big wedding, that one day Tom just called her and he's like, hey, honey, you want to get married today? And she's like, yes, Tom. Yes, I do. And he called up his judge, who's a friend, not Trisha A. Bigelow, but she called up a judge who was a friend. And he's like, hey, will you marry me today? And then they went to the country club, and they have a little clubhouse, and that's where they got married. And then they realized, oh, we need 2 witnesses to be here. And they had 1 witness. And then Tom ran out to the bar and he's like, yo, Wayne Boley, I need you to come and be my witness for my wedding that's happening right now. And Wayne was like, what? I'm just trying to enjoy an old fashioned. And Tom's like, come on. I'm a good guy. Come on. Come join my wedding. You'll be in my wedding. And this will be the best, biggest wedding ever imagined. And after that, they ended up going on a trip to have dinner at Michael's Gourmet Room. Michael's Gourmet Room may sound familiar to you this week because Michael's Gourmet Room is owned by the owner of the South Point Casino, Michael, who's rumored to be Erika Jayne, Erika Girardi's current rumored sugar daddy. I've since heard that she doesn't have a sugar daddy, but that could be, you know, other sources just trying to debunk that to make it seem like she doesn't have any money. but maybe, I know Michael is married, so it might be a friendly sugar daddy, or it might be a DL sugar daddy. Who knows? But he is rumored to be her new sugar daddy. And she's talked about Michael's gourmet room quite a bit over the past few years, and says that it's Tom and her favorite spot to like do date night at in Vegas. So that her grandmother loved Tom. She also says that she sat in on so many meetings and dinners and talks with the best legal minds. She was always trying to absorb all of the legal information she could from all the access that Tom had. She said that she would take the grandmother grocery shop. Her grandma would come to visit, and she would take her grocery shopping. And she was always trying to get Tom to stop spending money at the grocery store, because he would try to buy things that he already had at the house. And the grandma Ann would be like, no way, Jose, you don't need to be buying double. And then Tom was like, hold up, wait a minute. I got it like that. Make it rain, Granny. And then he's like, come on, you gilf. And she's like, I am a gilf. And he's like, that's right. I'm going to buy it all. And she said that Erika said that her Granby was very surprised by Tom's lack of thriftiness. And now we know Tom was a big spender. But she says that Tom would have dinner with the mayor and his wife and U.S. senators, very, very powerful people that he was always trying to impress. So that her and Tom loved to watch true crime radio shows, and they would just listen to them and try to guess who the killer was. And that was kind of like a little bonding thing that they had. She said that her main role when it came to his business was to entertain the wives. So when they would go on these dinners with these really powerful people, her job was to talk to the wives, entertain the wives, while Tom focused on closing the deals. So yes, she was involved, but like it really just seemed like she was kind of the trophy wife, the arm candy. Yeah. Says that her job in their marriage was to make sure his suits were laid out, to make sure he had his favorite toothpaste, to make sure he had his favorite cologne, to make sure she took care of stuff around the house. That was her primary role. Or if she didn't do it, she made sure she hired somebody to run the house. It sounds like she was kind of like that typical housewife. I'm going to do things around the house. I'm going to get new curtains. I'm going to make sure we have china, or at least that's how she's painting it in the early years of their marriage. And she says that, the key to a successful relationship is about helping the other be the best half that they can be. And so that was her role, was to help Tom be his best. I don't know if that's a successful relationship tip, because their relationship has since ended, but I mean, maybe there's some truth to that. Just make sure your husband isn't a scam artist taking money from orphans and widows. She also talks about how he hates when she talks over him. Like, that is a big no-no. They can both be really big brats, but one thing he was not going to allow her to do was raise her voice to him. And a lot of the times when it came to a lot of these events, he would just kind of be like, hey, so I have this thing on Friday and you have to go with me. It's a work event. And she'd be like, I don't really know what that is. Like, what do I have to wear? What should I dress as? And he's like, I don't know, just look cute. Just put on some lip gloss and fluff up your hair. And I'm like, I was reading that. I'm like, does he want her to look like a hooker? Like, does he want her to look like the third wife that he picked up as a waitress and, met her at, what was the go-go bar she used to dance at that we were talking about last week? But anyway, she's like, he just doesn't understand how it takes to get ready. And I really related to this line, because he's like, well, how long does it take you to get ready? 45 minutes? And she's like, no, sweetheart, it takes 3 days. And isn't that the motherfucking truth? Like, if I have a date, I'm like preparing for it. I'm working out. I'm, cutting carbs. I'm touching up my spray tan. I'm making sure my hair is washed on the right day to make sure it coordinates with going out. Eye candy from Shakers. Yes, that's right. Shakers is what I was thinking of. Thank you. But she talks about how they rarely have any giant arguments, and how this is also where we get into like housewives related. She talks about how her mother taught her to really fight dirty and how to cut people with words, but how she did that a lot in her first marriage to Tommy, and how that didn't work out in her first marriage. So she tried to really not cut Tom with words, one, because he didn't allow it. And he told her, he's like, you do not talk to me like that. And she was like, oh, okay, I will not talk to you like that. He's like, or else your Amex bill that Girardi Keys is paying for, I'm going to make sure that you pay for it with your money and not with client money, not with the victim's money. And she was like, okay, I'll be nice. I won't talk to you like that ever again, Daddy Warbucks. And so there's just she says that there's no argument that's worth justifying collateral damage. So she didn't like using her words to hurt Tom or to tear him down. She wanted to make sure that she was getting her point across. It was something that she learned to do within her marriage. Obviously, she forgot to do it when she joined Housewives. She says that Tom does not allow screaming in the house, so she is not allowed to raise her voice to him, or she says that she's tried and it does not go over very well. But he does treat her son very well. And that, you know, he was always very good to her son, took good care of him. She said that her son, however, did prefer to stay primarily in Manhattan with his dad. However, she maintains that she was a very active mother and that she would still show up for every meeting and every school play. Again, this is not my defending her. This is literally just me recapping what she wrote in her book, because I feel like some of you are going to try to drag me in the comments and be like, oh, you're trying to make her seem like a good mom. I'm not trying to make her seem like a good mother. I don't know how she was as a mother. She wasn't my mother, but I do know that in her book, she talks about like, these are the things that she says. So don't drag me. But it is interesting, though, because she talks about how she would go back and forth between LA and New York, and she was there for the school plays and the teacher parent conference meetings and all of that sort of stuff. But I'm like, I wonder what and how, you know, occasionally they would bring her son out to LA for like baseball games or football games or whatever the case may be. And so, like, I just wonder, like, what her son thought of all of this. Like, if you think about, like, her son's literally being flown back, like, he has a dad and he has a stable household at home that's fairly normal. And then he has his mother that lives in Los Angeles that's going to become an actress that's married to this old man that seemingly is like a grandpa. And yet this old man's just like flying your mom back and forth. And occasionally you get to hang out with your mom and this older man. Like, to me, that's just kind of weird. Like, I'm curious as to what the son like really thought about that. She says that her son and Tom were really close, so maybe it wasn't that far-fetched. But she said they had a very special bond. It was probably because they were Geminis. I'm a Gemini, so I can assure you that I don't rip any money off of victims or orphans or widows. But yeah, apparently Tom Girardi and her son Tom were both Geminis, and she thinks that's part of the reason they bonded so well is their dual personalities. She says that eventually her son ended up working for Tom, like more as like an intern. He would run errands for Tom. He would go to lawyer day camp. I don't really know what that means or if that's a real thing, but he also worked at the law firms in the summers. She says that she learned how to play golf with Tom. And that was kind of another little bonding tool that the two of them had together, which is really weird because I don't really picture Erika playing golf. She says that she redid the Pasadena mansion 8 years into their marriage, which I thought was also very weird because that mansion looks heavily dated. But she said that she was trying to design the house to like restore it to its classic original architecture. But I'm like, why? Because it looks terrible. But she made sure that her and Tom had separate closets and separate bathrooms. That's also key to marriage, is making sure you have separate closets and separate bathrooms. And then when she redesigned the house, she redesigned it to only have 3 bedrooms, which I found surprising. Thank you. Everyone's surprised about the yay, Gemini's in the house. Everyone's surprised about redoing the mansion. I was surprised at the mansion. Yeah, it looks scary. And the way she was describing it before, she was like, oh, it was, you know, dated and old and dark and scary. And I'm like, well, what did you actually do to it? But apparently it took like 1.5 years to finish it. Okay. But the other thing is, she says that when she had the house redone, she only had 3 bedrooms designed or created. I don't know, but one was for her and Tom, one was a guest bedroom, and one was a bedroom for her son. It's really interesting how much he like changed his entire life to also accommodate her son. I mean, I guess that's a bit of a stretch because the son lived in Manhattan for a lot of the time. But she says that for the first decade of the marriage, she was known for her shopping and she was known for keeping things up around the house, at least decor wise and design wise. So, you know, she definitely says that like she played the good housewife. Like that was her role in their marriage. But she said that the first half of their marriage was dedicated to taking care of Tom, and that it was interesting because he's the one that ever truly made her feel okay as a human, that Renee never made her feel that because, again, Renee operated from a place of lack and, you know, was always like worried about the bills and worried about money. And Tom was rich, so he didn't have to project those worries onto her. She said that Tom is very sure of himself, and that confidence helped her find her own confidence, and it helped made her feel comfortable in her own skin, which opened up the door for her to become Erika Jayne. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, her son's name is also Tom Ansley. And that's the end of chapter 9. And that's chapter 7, 8, and 9 of The Pretty Mess. Next week, we'll be breaking down 10, 11, and 12. And then we have 13, 14, and 15. So we only have 2 weeks left of book club. 10, 11, and 12 next week. And then the week after that is 13, 14, 15. So Make sure you grab a copy if you want to read it. Are we ready for quiz time? I love your rundowns on the show and on the books. Oh, thank you, Hugh Tex Girl. Cheers, everybody. Please save these lives. So I save all the lives. I want to go back and watch when I read. I save all the lives. They're saved here on Instagram at No Filter with Zack, and they're also saved. I upload them to YouTube. So I'm also recording the YouTube stream right here, and they're uploaded there as well. What book are we doing next? Okay, we have to decide. Well, we'll do quiz time in a couple minutes. I'm thinking for the next book, maybe we do Not All Diamonds and Rosé by Dave Quinn. That's the Bravo authorized story of the Real Housewives. Because there was the Brian Moylan book, The Real Housewives, or The Housewives. I don't think it was called The Real Housewives. It was called The Housewives. That came out earlier this year. And now Dave Quinn has his book, which is essentially the same thing, except Brian Moylan's book. Could we do Lala? Oh, we can do Lala in a future book club. I love Lala's book, and I think it's great. And it might actually be good for Vanderpump Rules, since Vanderpump Rules is airing right now. Maybe we do Lala's book, and then we do Not All Diamonds and Rosé, only because there is a 1 week gap in between. Didn't realize your username is Houston, Texas till Zack said it. Yeah. Come on, guys. Yes, Not All Diamonds and Rosé. I'm thinking maybe we do Lala's book and then Not All Diamonds and Rosé. TBD, because there is a lot of good stuff in Lala's book and I really did enjoy it. And like I said, there is that gap in between the two, in between when we wrap Erika's book and when Not All Diamonds and Rosé does come out. Whatever you pick, I'm in. Well, it's not just up to me. I'd like you guys to vote. So we'll probably do a poll on Instagram next week. That way we give everyone a chance to buy the book if they need the copy or whatever the case may be. Any other thoughts about these 3 chapters before we move into quiz time and we do a giveaway? Hey, ooh, baby, baby. Baby. Oh, thank you, Sophia. I can't wait to watch Vanderpump Rules tonight. Thank you guys for the badges. Let me do a quick badge shout out. Gossip in a Glass with the 3 badges. Thank you, Gossip in a Glass. Love you. Suki Denton 2018. Thank you for the 3 badges. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Gossip in a Glass. Thank you, Suki. Love you guys. Where was your cameo on Vanderpump Rules? I haven't watched it yet. I just know that I signed to the release and a lot of people have said that it came out. I don't know if it's at the beginning. Somebody said something 6:30. I don't know if that's 6 minutes and 30 seconds into it. I don't know where in the episode it airs, but there is a tiny Zack No Filter cameo in Vanderpump Rules tonight. Like I said, if you guys caught it, snap an Instagram story, post it, tag me because I want to repost it. I want to be like, yes, bitches. Okay. Is it time for quiz time? Okay, it's at the beginning. It's interesting that I haven't seen it yet, but it's interesting that they only ended up using the voice because I gave them the full release for the video, and I thought that they were, well, actually, I guess we never confirmed that it was going to be the video, but that's whatever. Okay. Can't stay. Thank you, RR, spilling some juicy tweet on Twitter. Is he though? I know he's been alluding to some stuff on Twitter, but I wasn't able to figure out what he actually. I saw it when I was doing like when I was prepping for this tonight's live. I don't know what he's actually saying. I just know he's like alluding to something about a housewife that was supposed to be a witness in some case, and he thinks that he helped relieve or get the case shut down or helped free the housewife. I don't know. He's alluding to a lot, but then it was like, I can't say anything because, you know, I don't know. I don't think it's about Rinna. I thought it was, I'm thinking it might be about Kyle and maybe a case that Mauricio was involved with. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what because again, it's all this speculation. It's all this like alluding to something without giving us anything and then being like, but I can't talk about it because, you know, the case has to, you know, finish playing out first. And I'm like, then why are you fucking talking about it? Literally, why are you talking about it if you can't say anything about it? That's like me saying, oh, you know, I'm going to do something. I don't know. Whatever. That's why I didn't tell anybody about my Vanderpump Rules cameo because I didn't know if it was going to air, when it was going to air, how it was going to air. I could very easily do a lot of that. Ooh, alluding to this. Bullshit. Breadcrumbs as always. Yes, exactly. Okay, shall we do quiz time? Is it quiz time? I think it's Rinna. He posted her pic. Oh, is he still going? Okay, I haven't been on Twitter in the last 45 minutes that I've been taping this Instagram, but if he did post her picture, then maybe he is alluding to her. I know she was involved in a copyright lawsuit where a paparazzi was trying to sue her for using a photo that she posted on her Instagram that the paparazzi took of her, and she posted it, but it was a photo of her. And then the paparazzi is like, you didn't have permission to post that photo, even though it's a photo of you. So I'm going to sue you. It was an easy cash grab photo, like cash grab lawsuit. Tale as old as time. Paparazzi are always trying to sue celebrities, even though they're fucking annoying and they're taking pictures of them. Whatever. I digress. But I mean, I thought it may have been Rinna, but then I was like, maybe not Rinna, because if it were Rinna, he would have said something. But now if he's actually posting her photo on Twitter, then maybe it is actually in relation to Rinna. Okay, quiz time. Are you guys ready? Do you have your books handy dandy? We are breaking it down. As you know, all of the answers I have already revealed in my recap, but you can find them in the book. The questions are asked by the order in which they appear in the book. So the first couple of questions are in chapter 7, then chapter 8, then chapter 9. So they do appear chronologically. I, again, have given you all of these answers already in the recap. I hope you were listening. I hope you were taking notes. Let's get into it. There are, how many questions are there tonight? 8 questions tonight. Like I said, if you're a first-time winner tonight, you get to choose between a no-filter hat or a Liddy City tank top. If you win a second week in a row, consecutively in a row, then you get the other, you know, either the hat or the Liddy City tank top, whichever you didn't get before. And then if you win 3 times, I will send you a case of my wine for free, but only if you win 3 times. Okay, quiz time. Are you ready? Question number 1. Dun, dun, dun. Question number 1. Who is the little general? Who is the little general? This comes from chapter 7. Like I said, they appear chronologically. Who is the little general? I will take nickname and first name as long as you identify who is the little general. Gamby, that's right. Damn, Gossip in a Glass. Are you really about to come for a 3rd week in a row? Gossip in a Glass got it first. Oh my God. Gossip is on fire. Gossip's like, I'm coming for that. I'm coming for you, wine. Okay, Gossip in a Glass got the first question. It was Granby and Grandma, Erika's grandmother. All of those would have worked. Gossip in a Glass got it first. Okay, question number 2, also from chapter 7. When Erika and Granby Ann got into their big fight, what was the fight about? What did Erika and her grandmother get into a fight about? All of the boys and all of the girls are begging to if you seek Amy. All of the boys and all of the girls are begging to if you seek Amy. Statue broken, statue broken. Yes, yes, yes. Lamp Me 54 was the first person to submit their answer, or the first answer that came up was by Lamp Me 54. So Lamp, you get the first, or you get this answer. Gossip in a Glass, you were the second person. You were so close. So close. So close. Yeah. The statue or line calling Erika a liar. All of those answers are all correct. All of those are, yeah. Statue going in the water, statue, line, all of those are correct. Lamp Me was the first person to get it. I didn't even see Lamp post this game is rigged. I know, right? People are fast. Y'all are on it. Okay. Question number 3. Oh, this is an easy one. Y'all better get this. Y'all better get it quick. What was the name of the restaurant Erika met Tom at? What was the name of the restaurant that Erika met Tom at? Oh, my phone is slow as molasses. Not Jason's, that is incorrect. Not Chasing, that is incorrect. Chasen's is correct. Gossip in a Glass got it. If you guys misspelled it, that is, I can't give you the point. Jason's is way off. Chasen's is correct. So make sure when you're submitting it, make sure you're typing fast, make sure it is spelled correctly. A lot of the times I will give it to you, even if you spelled it, just, you know, as long as you are on the same right line. But Jason's is not correct. It's not letting us correct it. Well, just make sure before you submit it. Gossip in a Glass is on it. Gossip is like ready. Gossip's like, I was a little Liddy City the first few times we did quiz time the first few weeks, and now I'm ready. I'm game. Okay, so Gossip in a Glass is in the lead. Okay, so Gossip has 2 points and Lamp Me has 1 point. Next question, question number 4. Also from chapter 8. The manager that hired Erika at Chasen's told her that this beverage was the Texas champagne. What was the drink that the manager told Erika was the Texas champagne? Dun, dun, dun. Heineken, yes. JJ Anna Loves You, or is it J Jana? JJ Anna or J Jana? Either way, JJ, you got it. JJ, the jet plane, that's me. JJ Anna loves me, and I love JJ Anna back. Boom, boom, boom. I like that boom, boom, pow. Them chickens jocking my style. I'm not playing with y'all anymore. They're fast. Y'all are fast. Okay, that was question number 4. So JJ Anna has a point. Gossip in a Glass has 2 points and is in the lead. And then Lamp Me has 1 point. Question number 5. What dish was Chasen's most famous for? Reagan ordered this. What dish was Chasen's most famous for? Easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Easy peasy lemon squeeze me. Boom. Ansley got it first. Ansley was the first person to submit. Thank you, Ansley. Wow, Ansley is like, I'm coming in. Ansley, didn't you win our very first quiz time book club quiz for Dorinda's book? I think Ansley was our very first. Oh, no, I don't think Ansley was our very first winner. I'm trying to remember who was the winner, though. Oh, it was, damn it. Why? I can see the profile picture, but I can't remember the name. Crystal. Was it Crystal? I don't know. Somebody won the first week. Yes, I did give you a Liddy City thing. Yes, I did give you a Liddy City tank top. I remember that. Okay. Question number 6. Gossip is still in the lead, but only by 1 point. Everybody else has 1 point. So if any of the other people that have already gotten a point get 1 more point, they will be tied with Gossip in a Glass. Okay, question number 6. What does Erika consider to be the real aphrodisiac? 2 parts to this. What does Erika consider to be the real aphrodisiac? A man that is what? A man that is what? Damn, Debbie. Damn, Debbie. Wow, you guys got that fast. Wow. You guys really got that fast. I am very surprised. The answer is well-read and educated. Debbie Wed got it. Debbie, get it. I was surprised at how fast you guys answered that one. I thought that was going to take you guys a minute. Yes, educated, education, smart man, all true things, all true things. Suki, I'm trying. I know you're trying, girl. I know you are. Okay, next question. 7 out of 8. So far, Gossip in the Glass is still in the lead because nobody has been able to match Gossip in the Glass or beat Gossip in the Glass. Damn, if Gossip in a Glass wins this, Gossip in a Glass is getting a free case of wine. By the way, Gossip, have you gotten your hat and your tank top yet? I mean, a man in uniform. Ooh, we all love a man in uniform. But we don't just love him because he's in a uniform. We love him because he has a job. That's the real reason we like a man in uniform, because we're like, you have a 401k. I am going for that DICK. That's the real truth. Okay, I know there were a delay with the hats, but you should be getting them probably this week, Gossip. Okay, question number 7. This is an easy one, you guys. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. What's one thing, or what is the one thing Erika is not allowed to buy for herself? Easy one. What's the one thing that Erika is not allowed to pay for herself, to buy for herself? BDE us a paycheck. That's right. That's right. I don't want a guy with the big dick. I want a guy with the big paycheck. Okay. Raise her voice to him. No, what was she not allowed to buy herself, girl? No, JJ Anna, you didn't listen to the question. Ansley, you said jeweler, but I think you meant jewelry. And since you were the first person to answer, I will. Oh, holy fuck. That ties you with gossip in a glass. Uh-oh. OMG. Ansley got this point. I'll give it to her. Jeweler, only because I know you meant jewelry. You just forgot the Y-E. Yes, I missed one letter. I will still give it to you, Ansley. You got it. So right now it is tied between Ansley and between gossip in a glass. Ooh, she said gossip. I'm coming for you. I love it. I'm coming for you. You ever call me a liar again? I'm coming for you. Okay, final question. Dun, dun, dun. This should be a tiebreaker. You guys are welcome to play, but I feel like at this point, it's going to either gossip or, well, actually, if one more person that's already gotten 1 point, if you want to make it a 3-way tie, that could likely happen in this next moment, and then we'll have a tiebreaker. Also, an easy one. Talked about this on my Instagram. I've talked about this quite a bit this week. Where did Tom and Erika have dinner after getting married? AKA, it's their favorite date night spot. What is the spot? I want the full name, full spot of where they go to have dinner, their date night spot. What was it? What is it? Boom. JJ Anna loves you. Wow. We are in a 3-way tie. Gossip, if you were just 2 seconds quicker, Gossip, you would have won this. But now we are in a 3-way tie. Oh my God. I love this. Okay. JJ Anna, Ansley, and Gossip in a Glass are tied in a 3, or deadlocked into a 3-way tie. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to find a tiebreaker. I didn't normally have a tiebreaker prepared, but I was like, no, we never have a tiebreaker. We never have a tie. We've only had a tie once in all of book club. I like a 3-way. I love a 3-way. Give me some Craig and Austin, and oof. Or at this page, at this point, give me some Craig and Paige DeSorbo. Ooh, that is one spicy couple. Zack Pack all day. That's right, Poppy. That's right. Oh, Poppy is in Poppi. I'm not calling. It's not like a man. It looks like a woman based off the profile picture. Poppy with a Poppie, not like a Poppy. Hey, Poppy, let me ride that D. No. Zack Pack all day. Yes. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, cheers, cheers all around. Okay. What will be the tiebreaker? Okay, here's a fun one. Because we talked about Tom not wearing a wedding ring, basically opening it up for them to cheat. I want you to go, so of the 3, yes, Zack Pack. So of the 3 finalists, Ansley, JJ Anna, and Gossip in a Glass, the first person to name one of Tom Girardi's mistresses, I will give you the win. Name one mistress of Tom Girardi's, and you will take it all home. Come on. Who's going to give me one? There are 2 of them that we know of publicly. Tanya Harding? I don't think that's right. Yeah, that's the skater. Tanya Harding is the skater from I, Tanya, the movie. The judge. But what is the judge's name? I need names. What was the judge's name? Isn't one of them is not named Tanya. There is no Tanya. Tanya does not exist. You guys have time to dig and to Google. Yes, the judge and the realtor are correct. So whoever can, guys, don't give them the answer. Chris, you can't give them answers. I want a full name. Dig it up. Google it. Search Instagram for it. Trisha A. Bigelow. Wow. Gossip in a Glass has won for the third time in a row. Trisha A. Bigelow. The answers were Trisha A. Bigelow and Amber Ringley. And Gossip in a Glass came and she was ready. She even brought the A. She's like, it's not just Trisha Bigelow. It's Trisha A. Bigelow. That's right. Damn. Gossip in a Glass. Boom. Gossip in a Glass has won for a third time in a row. And she is going home with a free 12-pack of No Filter Rosé. Wow, you guys. Wow. This was fun tonight. Not Tanya Harding. No, Tanya. Well, I mean, maybe we don't know, but as of right now, we don't know that we cannot confirm that Tanya Harding was. I'm a little drunk. I'm one rosé into this. Oh my God. That was so fun, you guys. Thank you guys so much for that. Erika Jayne's book, My Zack Pack is working. Yes, work. Get it going, Zack Pack. Erika Jayne's book, Pretty Mess, part of book club every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. Thank you guys for joining today. Thank you guys for playing. I'm a little tips too. Wish I joined earlier. Ooh, we're all a little tips, girl. Every Tuesday night and Thursday night, we get tipsy. We get litty city all day. Next week, we will be doing chapters 9, 10, and 11, right? 9, 10. We did, yeah. Oh, no. Sorry, 10, 11, and 12. Because we did 7, 8, and 9 tonight. 10, 11, and 12. So make sure you have your chapters read. If you haven't bought the book yet, but you want to buy the book, DM me if you want to use the affiliate link, the Amazon affiliate link that I have, and you want to support the show. You don't have to buy the book. It is not required. That's why I recap them for all of you guys. That way you don't have to buy it if you don't want to buy it, but you still get all the juicy scoop and all the tea and all the hot goss. That was fun. I promise I'll lose next week. I don't have anything else to give you. Actually, I may or may not be designing some new merch that may or may not be launching this fall. So maybe you'll get some of that before it gets on sale. It goes on sale if you win a fourth time. Gossip, you are just going to be fully hooked up. Isn't this fun though? Like, we read a book, we get Liddy City together, we have a good time. I'm giving away lots of free stuff just for the hell of it, just because I enjoy your company. Like, I don't ask for anything out of these guys. We need hoodies. Maybe that's in the works. I can't wait to hear what you think of Vanderpump Rules. I'm going to watch it right now. I have to watch Salt Lake City. I have to watch Vanderpump Rules. And then someone was DMing me saying that I need to watch all the Britney stuff because tomorrow's the case. And now I'm like, oh my God, that's a lot of stuff that I have to watch. I can't believe I said Tanya Harding. I can't believe you said Tanya Harding either, Ansley. Fucking hilarious. I love it. But so I have a lot to catch up on. I have to finish like the last 5 minutes of Potomac. I have to watch Salt Lake City. I have to watch Vanderpump Rules. I want to watch all of the Britney stuff. Apparently, I'm told the Hulu documentary is way better than the, what's the other one? Not the Hulu one. The Hulu documentary and the Housewife and the Hustler. I don't know. Sorry. It was a long day today. It was a late night and I was up at 6 a.m. doing my morning workout. I had to take a little nap today, you guys. Like, that's how tired I am. But yeah, okay. Fun times. Love you guys. Thank you. Like I said, you can give me a follow at Just Plain Zack. That's my personal account. I'm going to do Q&A. Well, yeah, I think I'll do Q&A tonight. So if you guys want to ask any fun stuff, I'll do Q&A. I'm not going to do an after party tonight. I will do after party on Thursday night. And I'll make sure we all get Liddy City and have some fun after party on Thursday after our Instagram live. We go live every Thursday night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 Eastern, as we do on Instagram for book club every Tuesday. Get your copies. Make sure you have your chapters read for next week. You know your homework. I will talk to you guys next Tuesday. Tomorrow's episode of the podcast is another Girardi tell-all. I have people, remember how I asked people to submit their stories of working with Erika Jayne? Well, we're breaking down those stories on the show tomorrow. I also have 2 guests that are sharing their experiences with Erika Jayne on the podcast tomorrow, so get ready for that. New episode comes out on Wednesday, new live this Thursday. It'll be uploaded to the podcast on Friday. So there we go. Thank you, Zack Pack, for a fun Tuesday night. I'm going to serve myself a little more wine and go watch Vanderpump Rules. Love you guys. Give me a follow at Just Plain Zack to follow me personally. Follow the Instagram account at No Filter with Zack. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell notification button. That way you're always up to date. If you're watching this on the Instagram, you can always subscribe at youtube.com/justplainzack. And be sure to get my Housewives Watching Wine, my Housewives Inspired Rosé, 14% alcohol, but less than a gram of sugar. So you'll get Liddy City, but you won't get hung over. Lots of words in my mouth. Sorry. But I mean, I'd rather have words in my mouth than other things, at least tonight. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Ciao for now.